Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Daily Drakensang, featuring your Kansas City homeboy Joshua King. Um, and here today we are going to do the mainline quests in the final world of Drakensang, Haraja, the Great Desert, and all that. The reason for that is frankly I'm getting my butt kicked trying to play the parallel worlds on Painful solo, and almost all of the groups that I've seen that are doing parallel worlds are doing it on higher difficulties, and as much loot as I get just following people around, I feel like I'm not really contributing. I feel like a puppy dog following a bunch of adults. So, I'd like to do some solo things, and I figure a great thing to do is just finish these mainline quests. So that's what we're going to do today for about an hour. In big news other than that, I've got to go see an apartment today. I'm about to get my brand new apartment in Kansas City. The journey is wrapping to a conclusion. A month and a half ago, June 15th to be precise, I moved to Kansas City, and I've had more fun and been happier in a month and a half than I've been in years. I'll briefly tell you about that story of coming here because it's really important to me, and I've told it to a lot of people I've met. And it's like my life is starting over again. But before I do that, you will notice that the camera has changed. I've moved the webcam over the chat box, and I would like to shout out the individual that suggested that to me, who just so happens to be my very first subscriber. So, Dury the Brave, if you're watching this, I want to, which as my subscriber, I'm sure you'll get to it at some point. I want to say thank you so much for that suggestion. She also said that I need to. My computer fan is showing in the video, which I told Dury, because the last episode was so short, I didn't edit out the sound, but certainly for this one I will. So that problem will be taken care of. We'll send that to my video converter, and we'll before that to my other program that I use for editing, and we'll make sure that's taken care of. So let's focus on the gameplay and also gonna relate my story. So basically, I was working at Walmart for 6 years in Sedalia, and everything was going great, and then they decided to hire my mother. 10 years before that day, she disowned me for coming out. Came out as gay, she disowned me. I'd kept that secret for about 15 years for all the reasons that she confirmed. I pretty much knew how she'd react, and I was hoping she'd prove me wrong, and she didn't prove me wrong. So, but fast forward to June, or fast forward to December rather, of last year, she got hired at Walmart, with management kind of knowing that she was the source of a lot of my depression and suicidal thoughts and such, and they decided to put her on a shift where I would see her 5 days a week at my 40 hours a week job. So not something where I wanted her to get fired or anything. It was just the realization that the environment at Walmart was going to become toxic and stressful, even more so than it needed to be, and just we wouldn't be able to exist under the same sky. To reference the Hagaguri, where the Hagaguri, the Book of Leaves, says a man cannot live under the same sky as the murderer of his lord. So kind of related to that. And so I made plans to move, and I said, hey, I'm going to make sure you get taken care of. I'll get you through inventory, I'll get you through Black Friday, but then I'm gone. So June 15th I moved here thanks to Black Dragon Gaming and Tommy and Lucia. Thanks to them, I was able to have a place to stay until I got this apartment, and now all I got to do is go pay the first month's rent. I will say this in addition, Sedalia, Missouri is a small town. It's a more conservative town. So to come to Kansas City and not only get to go to a gay bar for one of the few times I've been able to do that, but Missy B's in particular, where I've been once before and it was a great experience. Now I go there every Saturday night because their drag shows are incredible, and just the freedom to be able to be myself with people like myself, at least in that facet, is really cool. Of course, being myself with people like myself on Drakensang as well, because most of us speak the same language as far as dice rolls and monsters and mythologies and weird trivia and a lot of other things. So, but that said, thanks to everybody that's made me feel welcome in this game, and we're going to now talk some about the gameplay. So, I'm basically supposed to defeat 150 Shadowgans, and I think I'm going to actually hit the quest marker there so I can target them more effectively. Because I'm targeting the thing that the last quest would want me to kill. So let's focus in. And you'll also note I'm avoiding the big, giant red skull there. Not just because it's Captain America's job to kick its ass, but also because the bug, in this case, has the bug of constantly reviving its health 3/4 of the way after you kill it. So basically, I mean, you can fight it and get a lot of loot just off of everything else that comes with him respawning, but I'd rather get the quest done. So we're gonna fight these snakes that are not Gorgons. Thank goodness, because any of you guys who have been through Atlantis know how annoying those Gorgons are when they stone you. But thankfully that's not them. They just stab with their spears. That's easy enough to deal with. You'll also note that I am using quite the different set of skills. I have the group I was running with in Parallel Worlds yesterday to thank for that. They clued me in on the fact that Drakensang is not the same as it was 7 years ago. A lot has changed. I am quite humbled by that. I'm quite humbled by my lack of fighting ability at this point. But they assure me that with about a year, I should, dedication, I should be able to get to where they're at. And I'm like, well, then it's not so different than it was 7 years ago, because I had to work very hard to make Athamlite the character he was. I have the screenshot of when he was level 33, I believe, but I was running Parallel Worlds in Atlantis back when Atlantis was fresh and new off the plate, and I was running those, ultimately right before I left. So, I definitely know that it takes a lot of hours to get a very powerful character, but they've been so helpful as far as just, letting me know things that you would think if you were experienced on here in the last year or two, you would know just verbatim, but I had to be reminded that I need to save my mystic boxes until level 55, so that way I'm not essentially wasting them, because nothing outside of the gems and some other things, the gear that you're getting out of them is not going to be worth anything. You can sell them for gold, but that's about it. You save them to 55, and then if you get legendaries out of it or uniques, they're they're much more likely to be worth something. And we're about halfway to a goal too. Yeah, this is definitely a slower way to kill things. It's not as flashy as Blade Dance, but it's definitely safer. I'm not having to constantly keep my health up. That said, I'm not, it's really easy when you've done a playstyle for so long to start questioning, that, hey, does this new one really work that well? I'd like to go back to my old one, but, I mean, I'm definitely, I'm going to give it a chance. I mean, I definitely see the power of Exploding Arrow. I think it's just more technical. I need to make sure my aim is exactly where I want it. Like, it's a very technical thing, but yeah, as you can see, I'm staying really safe. Like, and it's not because the enemies are pushovers. I mean, if I stand in that poison for a decent amount of time, my health will go down significantly. But yeah, essentially, as you can see, the build is basically stand behind your tree fall and Exploding Arrow. The one thing I am not doing right now, my inventory is full. That, by the way, is another strat that they taught me is, hey, you ought to put your wisdom points into having a shop anywhere you want it. So that is very cool. And you can see how many mystery boxes I have saved up. I have a single one that's tier 1 or tier 0, single one tier 1, 24 tier 2, 126 tier 3. And we're going to talk about some things, so we will kick out, deal with those, and then we'll get back to it. Get back to selling everything. Yeah. The one thing about Exploding Arrows that is annoying is, and that I'm not stratting as well as I could be, is the fact that I could be firing my adrenaline to get a second explosive shot directly after the first one. So I should be doing that, and I'm not. If I was fighting enemies that were tougher, I certainly would be. Like, I tend to not attack as fiercely when the enemies aren't at a level where I need to. I think that's mostly wrist preservation right there, so I'm not killing my wrist this early into a run. And there we go. We traded everything off. Well, still have that. Alright, let's do it. Let's clean the play here. And this is really helping too. Like, getting all this gold is really going to help because buying pets and costumes and emotes and stuff, those static bonuses you get from collecting so many of them, it's really going to help. Okay, so let's fire the line. Oh. Yeah, and another part of the strat that I wasn't doing before is I didn't have full points in net, so getting that chance to basically have no cooldown on the net, that is huge, especially for this kind of defensive type of play. That's something I wasn't doing before, and I think we'll just hunting arrow that last one. And Jingo over there, my experienced dog, is freaking out right now. Alright, so 136 and 150, we're almost done with it. Once we get done, then we'll move on. We'll see what happens. This is new to me. These quests are new to me. I mean, they're the typical same thing you've kind of been doing. One version of the quests you've been doing over the course of the game, kill X amount of enemies, collect X amount of items. I'd like to say though that the environments and the fact that you're still facing new enemy types, at least artistically, keeps it interesting. Yeah. Also, exploding arrow hits twice. Alright, so we went to talk to Bassam, so that means well, no, let's kill. You know what? Because I have killed this bug once, and he wasn't like glitching the he or she he wasn't glitching the infinite regen. And when I say regen, I don't mean like constant, because he's always gonna have constant regen, but the fact that you kill him and then he just goes back to 75% health anyway. Let's see if he does that today. And now's when you see I'm doing the double exploding strat. We're gonna really buckle down and do this right. The key is he does regen. He regens about something from 1,000 to 1,200. It seems like. Alright, double strat. Yeah, we're getting hit for low health, but as you can see, there's so many health orbs that I'm not even worried about it. Okay, and did we get him? Yep, see, he regens his health. Now, I don't know if that's just because I was delayed a little bit in getting the last points of damage, or if that's something that just statically did, because it looked like he was out. He looked like all his health was gone, so... you notice too what I liked about that exploding arrow is that it does not miss its target. And you can see here too that like you keep having minions show up, and so literally even if you're not killing the main boss, you're still at least able to. Yeah. Okay. So we're not going to play around with that. Yeah. Honestly, I've seen that happen before in other bosses, where, especially ones in like painful difficulty, where they just refuse to die. And it looks like I'm in trouble here, but really, I'm just getting a good vantage point to start exploding them. There you go. We'll go ahead and try to optimize this. Just trying to clear a little spot for me to teleport, and I mean that is a blue creature, so. Take him out, and that was, I mean, we killed him in one shot and hit twice. It was pretty good. Alright. Poured out, and let's bring over Evie here to kind of cheer us on. Hey, Evie. You will see me like, these aren't my plushies, but I do love plushies, and I'll try to always have one. I'll definitely buy some for the apartment, and I'll try to have one in my videos, at least for a little bit of time. You call me weird, but it's kind of something that I've always loved plushies. I mean, I always slept with one as a kid, and a little something I like to collect them. Not crazy. I won't have an apartment filled with them, I promise, but I like to have a few. In particular, one of my photos, I won't say goodbye to Evie, one of the photos that I had back when I was a younger wee babby, I had one of the Neopets plushies. I had a zombie Kachik. And there's a picture of me in my 20s with that zombie Kachik on my shoulder, and I'm kind of looking at it, and it's a little bit humorous. So, anyway, back to the game. We're almost to another wisdom level. Sweet. We're almost to level 51. We're making progress, guys. I wish it was 5 levels in one day, but then again, the thing about those 5 levels in one day videos is the characters that are running those are really freaking powerful. They've got way higher attack and defense than I do. So I think that's part of what makes it possible is because you're able to run through them much quicker. So I'm not salty about it. You know, we have to take our time, but we'll get there. And let me also put that purple gem in something. As you can see, now you can see my gems. I just recently combined a whole bunch of them together. So, we have empty slots again on that. Also, something that changed that I just realized last night that changed about Drakensang is that you can pay Enderment for extra slots in your items. So once I get 1,500 Enderment, we'll put a fifth slot in that off. And as for this off slot, I'm going to be running, when I get a little bit stronger, I will be running Grimmag Parallel Worlds because I want the off-hand unique that you get in Grimmag. I want the Grimmag arrows. That seems like a really great item. If I'm wrong, and it's not really a great item even for where my character's at right now, please let me know in the comments or on Discord, and I am open to any advice you guys and ladies want to give me, because so much of this is brand new, as far as like how crafting works again, which I've learned a lot, obviously from playing it from level 1 to level 50, but what you need right now and what you need at level 55 is a world of difference. And I know that from back when, especially now. Like, there's just a big world of difference. Like, there's a lot of okay items, not very many you must have it. It's very similar to Pathfinder in that way, in that, there's a lot of great artifacts, but at the end of the day, you want a ring of protection, you want a cloak of resistance, you want +5 weapon, +5 armor, you want a belt of physical protection, on and on and on. You want the big 6. Also, like Magic the Gathering, and as great a card as you might have in your deck, nothing beats the Power 9. So, that said, Magic, of course, is good about, you don't get to play with the Power 9 unless you're in one single format, and you better have a lot of money. So, they make it so you have to play with the other inferior cards. And now I'm being really cheeky. I have a really good deck on Arena, and they're not as powerful cards as Power 9, but they get the job done. If you watch my other series, Arena Adventures, MTG Arena Adventures, and my Diamond 3 status right now, on the back of Boros Aggro, running such great cards as 10th District Legionnaire and Tajik and Chance for Glory, heroic reinforcements, which this fall that is going to be changing because rotation's going to happen. We're going to be going into a whole new plane. But you can hear more about that on that show, which I do once a week. I don't do a daily like this one because real life, which I'm only doing this for an hour for the same reason. I've got to go. My appointment to go finalize that apartment is sometime between 10 and 11 o'clock. That's when I said I'd show up to take care of it, and so I am a person of my word. So as far as how long we're going to go, we'll go in about another 30 minutes. I'll close this at 9:30 or so, and that'll give me time to take care of it. We're making some great progress. We're getting through these quests decently quick. We're getting some XP, getting some Enderment. The Enderment's important for getting that final 5th slot. Take care of that business. The biggest thing was getting 5 slots on that cape, because capes are a little tougher to get. That is going to be a whole mission in and of itself at level 55, is going to get the cape from Kali. Kali's cape is one of those big 6 items I hear. And it was back then too, because I know getting a cape from Kali was something you went and did back then too. I certainly had one, certainly went on all those runs. It's nice to know that it's still a valuable item even at this point. Then again, like I said, if you'd like to tell me in the comments that there's better ones I ought to go for at level 55 at this point, or if the Kali Cape is good enough, it's a good starting point, and let me know in the comments. I'm open to any advice you have to give me. And certainly, if you like to run with me and be on, be someone who gets featured during my runs on the show, go for it. Hit me up in Discord. I will let you know. We can arrange a good time to record, and we'll do it up. Right now, I'm doing it in the morning because I'm staying with the friends at Black Dragon Gaming, and so early morning is a really good time to record because later in the afternoon, big things are popping and little things are stopping, to quote Martel Vontavious Porter. Bonus points to you if you know who that individual is. He's somebody that I followed when he had his show on YouTube, the Sessions, as he called them, in reference to Cowboy Bebop, which you'll notice I call these Drakensang episodes, the daily Drakensang, as Sessions for the same reason. Cowboy Bebop is pretty freaking awesome. And who else is awesome is the voice actor for Spike, whose name escapes me at the point, but it shouldn't because I'm a huge fan of his. I think though, like, just for me personally, my favorite role he was in was voicing Black War Greymag. But he's voiced Amon in Legend of Korra. He's voiced, and there we finally killed the bug. Yeah. So you just every so often that either I'm doing it wrong and I just I have to, I have to do some certain strat to get past his magic pixel that regens his health or whatever it is. But we got him that time, so good deal, some good loot. But yeah, he's voiced Amon. He's voiced Zoldan Kuhl in Diablo 3. Bloom. Yeah, his last name's Bloom. Steve Bloom? Steve Bloom, I want to say. God, I'm going to be so wrong and I'm going to feel so embarrassed. But he's like one of those voice actors that just he's so prolific. He has a Guinness record for being prolific at voicing characters, for crying out loud. He's just an awesome person. And Black War Greymag, I love Black War Greymag. In fact, I write fan fiction every so often, and I never seem to complete any of it, just because, frankly, it's hard to find people that want to read fan fiction when there's so much stuff going on in life. I think I believe that I write good material, but again, you have to write this stuff and keep it sort of short, chapter wise, so people will read it. But I write one that features Black War Greymag as early as the first chapter. If on the off chance any of you are interested in checking it out, I will certainly send the file to anyone who wants it. But the three individuals that it features in chapter 1 are Shepard, Liara, and Black War Greymag. And the first chapter, I think, really does a good job at setting up exactly how those three characters are in the same place. It's obvious why Liara and Shepard would be in the same place. Femshep, by the way. Not Melshep, Femshep, and Liara. Certainly why they would be together, but why Black War Greymag would meet them. That's in the first chapter. And it's just a little side project that I do, and every so often when I'm bored. Which thankfully Drakensang is not boring, and so unfortunately I probably will not be getting to a second chapter anytime soon. Anyway, enough about that. I probably ranted on that a little longer than it deserved. Back to needing to set one more tent on fire. Let's do that real quick, and then we will deal with the mooks. The mooks and the blue scorpion. No relation to the black scorpion from WCW, by the way. Big rank points if you got that reference. You're going to find that I drop a lot of references that may or may not go over people's heads. But I will certainly try to explain them within the video, or at least give you a hint as how to find out more about them. I would say I ought to be on Jeopardy. I don't think I'd be as good as Ken Jennings or the guy that came around later and broke his record, but certainly could do well though. Okay, so we got a stone fragment from the Shadigans and Great Brother, so back we go. Well, I'm just did this, but let's double check. And hey, there's a shout out from Kitsune Kaji from Blackburn Gaming. Yeah, my Discord will pop up once in a while. If it relates to Drakensang, I'll probably check it out. If it's Blackburn Gaming, as much as I love them, I'll kind of just scoot it off because it's not in relation to the video and what we're doing. But I definitely keep it out because, you guys may want to talk to me during the video. You guys might want to put me in a voice call during the video, and I am open to all that. Certainly having other people on the channel before that would be great, especially considering I haven't gotten on Twitch yet. I have an account on Twitch, and very soon I have to get the computer first. And I was actually discussing that. We were talking about that with the group last night. I'm not the only one that's getting a computer soon, and they were talking about what they'd like to see in their rig. And I was telling them, well, I'm going to go to a computer store, and they're like, well, that gets expensive. I'm like, yeah, but they know what they're doing. I don't have to guess what I need in a computer. I can just hit, hey, I need to stream Drakensang Online on Twitch. Also, I would like to play Fallout 4 at some point, because and games of that ilk in that generation, because I missed out on it. That's another thing that I really love about being able to stay with Blackburn Gaming, is that literally I've been able to play a bunch of video games that I would have never had the chance to. I got to play Smash Brothers Ultimate, for instance, and Skyrim on Switch. I've definitely played Skyrim before, but not on the Switch. Not portable. And also got to play a bunch of games on the Xbox 360. So I played some of the Mass Effect series, which is why I started writing the Fem Chef Liara Black Orc Greymag fanfic. And also got to romance Garrus again in another run, because god damn is he handsome. Seriously, I don't know if it makes me sound weird to have a fetish for aliens, but I would absolutely jump on Garrus in a heartbeat. That dude is just the kind of dorky I need in my life. But anyway, enough about that before I weird y'all out and y'all basically ban ever seeing my videos again. I got to play South Park The Stick of Truth, and that was fun as well. Of course, now I need to go grab Fracture But Whole, because even though I did check out Creek's breakup and counseling and get back together video, Creek being the Tweak and Craig together, I checked all that out on YouTube, but I would certainly like to play through it myself. And then, of course, everything else with Fracture But Whole is here. I'm not the hugest South Park fan, but I certainly appreciate it for what it is, and I definitely know the characters and general things about it. That's part of the fun is that, of playing Stick of Truth was getting to see all the in references that I didn't get, and then being able to watch the episodes on YouTube or borrow the DVDs that BBG owns in this apartment that are South Park, and just kind of, oh, that's where that's from. So bring the stone tablet back. Let's kill the big bad first. Or not the big bad, but like the semi-big bad. He's only a green bad. He's not a blue or purple or gold bad. So let's bring it back. Bring it back to Haraja. And that is 404, so we'll get to move on from that now. That quest line will be over. At this point, we'll move on to other things. 906, so about 30 minutes left in the video. Close it out, and now we got to go over here and talk to this person. This lady, I assume. So, go to the waterfall in the Evergreen Oasis. So we got a whole new area to explore. Sure, I like it. Let's go to a new area. And connection being established. There you go. And I assume it's one of the 3 doors. Yeah, we're too close to level 51. We're gonna kill things. We gotta do it. Yeah. It's gonna take. We're not getting there as quick, but we gotta kill things because I'm too close to level 51. We gotta get there. And there's nothing. Nope. I was going to say, I thought my inventory might be full, but it's not. We're definitely going to get there. And I'm already at 153 gold. So, the emotes will be bought, the costumes will be bought, the pets and mounts will be bought. We will get a couple more of them in the collection. And pretty much that's what I'm going to be doing for a while. Once I hit 55, then we might have to consider not doing that anymore. But until then, I'm spending the gold that I collect on just that. Also, we're collecting realm fragments, which the group last night informed me that the event coming up, let's just look it up. The Undefeatable in 3 days, 3 hours, 51 minutes, 42 seconds. That event is going to need a lot of realm shards, so they were like, collect them all. And you might not have heard that term, collect them all. Get them all, which is why we were running an inventory store. We were running Fox Bureau of Investigation on Fatal last night as part of our run. We did Parallel Grimmag as well. We were doing that to get the realm frags. Because apparently Fox Bureau on Fatal has a really good chance of getting realm frags. Also Wisdom Runes, which I've got 5 in my slots and 1 in inventory because you can only have 5 at a time. So I need to grab one more. That way I can upgrade the tier of one of them and then be back at 5 of them again. The 1 upgraded and then the 4 that are at base level. Let's see if this door is the Evergreen Oasis. Nope, Temple of Agony. I'm going to try to avoid going anywhere that isn't quest related. And now I just noticed that is quest line that is 7 strong. So we'll see how quickly. The first one's gonna. As soon as we go there, that'll finish the first one. So that'll be easy to get through. But then we'll see how quickly the others get through. Oh God, that is sexy. 12,000 damage off exploding arrow. That is hot. Daddy life. 15,000. Okay. I'm doing decent damage. Holy shit. That is sexy damage. Like, I don't think I've ever had 15,000 in one shot in my life. I am now fully aware of the power I wield, as low as it is still in comparison. But for where I'm at right now, yeah. I wasn't doing that as a new thing. Alright. Kill that last one real quick. Exploding arrow, boom. You got shedded in the bad way. more snakes. For now. Lightning on him. And then we'll get to that wisdom thing soon. Haven't cashed it in yet, we're still building it. Yeah, I need to be using my skills. All the skills, use them. Optimize your game planning. Yeah. And none of Mythic Maps. So I'm not even opening these Mystic Cubes even though they're tier 0. I'm still not doing it because I want to save all of them up as possible. Okay, so we're buffing. What are we buffing? Yeah, prosperity. That's right. They said buff, gift your shop, and then buff your prosperity so you can increase your gold drop. Because at this point your attack power and speed is so low level that you really don't need to worry about optimizing it yet. Is what they said. So I am pretty much, if you give me advice on this game and it doesn't conflict with something I was told by someone else on Discord, I'm gonna go with it. You know, as far as whatever strat you want to feed me. Because after everything I learned last night about how the game has changed, I pretty much assumed that nothing from the way the game used to be played as far as specific strats and stuff is valid anymore. And so I am an open book to suggestions. And now we'll check the final door, and I'm sure that's the right one. Process of elimination. Got a few dozen more moves probably to get through before we get to that point. I mean, I'm earning great experience, so not going to pass them by. And, you know, since we're selling everything, you know, that's missing out on loot drops too. Ooh, dive over here. Haven't used the dive in a while, so felt that skill was getting neglected. Alright. Through the door and through the woods is evergreen. Oh, that was pretty. Let's look at our rewards real quick. Staff of Materia Manipulation Port. So that looks like a quest item. And then these Lapis Lazuli boots. So I love Steven Universe, so anytime I see a gym reference, I gotta go back to Steven Universe. I don't think I've ever seen Lapis wear those boots. I'm sorry. If she ever wore those boots, I think Peridot would flip her Dorito. Oh, let's go. Check out this new area and work on being strong in the real way. You get a free pie if you get that reference. It is from Steven Universe. I'll clue you in on that. So let's be strong in the real way. And there's a side quest we will not take. No side quests. Because we're trying to get through the main line quick and be done with it. There's infinite enough time to do side quests later on in life. I'm not going to clog my quest line up with a bunch of side quests, and then because Parallel Worlds and level 55 is the goal. That is the goal. The mainline quests are the ones that are going to give enough XP to be worth it, not the side shows. Yeah, let's watch our health. If you never learned anything about anything, Velociraptors are a pain in the ass, and they are deadly. Velociraptors will kick your ass, no matter what form, whether it's Jurassic Park or Drakensang. So, and I see these fallen warriors, and going back to Magic just reminds me of that whole War of the Spark thing. So you're definitely going to hear me referencing a lot of things from outside Drakensang just because I have other interests, especially Magic, especially shows like Steven Universe and Korra, and basically the shows with all the LGBTQIA heroes. And I know a lot of letters. Believe me, I sometimes get a little head shaky at it as much as non-gay people do. And, but I know, we gotta try to be as accommodating as possible. At least that's my philosophy. Well, it doesn't hurt nobody to be more accommodating. Like, you're just including more people in the party. And who doesn't want more people at the party that are good people? Anyway, there's our tree folk. There's our exploding arrow. There's our get some more. Fire another one just in case there was anybody left. And collect the loot. Alright. Okay, so we gotta go to a specific place in this place. Waterfall Overlook, so we will, I haven't done it yet, but we will do it. I will fire up the quest line and see exactly where that is. There we go. Okay, so, yeah, where you'd think it would be, right in that corner, nook there, as far away from where you start as possible. 15,000. Good God. I think the damage is just from how high my crit has gotten from what it was. I think that's part of that. Make it buy. More stuff. More stuff. I'm telling you, George Carlin would be throwing a fit right now about my love of stuff right now. Alright. 4 people. God, I cannot get used to that much damage. That's too much. Oh my goodness, and we got Cyclopses again. Return those from Greaseland. Alright. I went through Greaseland and man, those Cyclopses were a pain in the ass. They would kill you. They just stomp you in. And they're back apparently for a cameo appearance. Lockpicks. I've got about 100 something lockpicks now, and I'm saving them up for when I go to the secret worlds, and you have that the one place I think in Drakensang where you have chests that require 100 lockpicks. So I'm saving it for that. I really want to see if I get good stuff from it, and it's the one place that you can put in for the jackpot. So I think that's the strat too. Is don't waste your lockpicks on the smaller chests, save them for those 100 chests when you go to Secret Worlds. And inventory's full, so we're going to take care of these little guys here. Some of the wolves, we got that. That should take care of most of them. The tree folk will take care of the rest. And while tree folk is doing things, we will get to sell. So let's sell the stuff. Cashing in. To our second spot because deluxe membership gets you an extra locker in the main part, and then gets you an extra locker in the actual goblin storage. I think it's a goblin or a gnome, one of the two, who facilitates that. And now we'll dash in that too. So. All right, 188 gold. I've been waiting until I get to about 500 to 600 gold, and then I go ahead and cash them in on costumes and stuff. That way you're getting more than one item usually. One thing I might need to start getting is get all the horse types. Right now I've got the flaming horse that you see down here, and then I've got a elegant gray, I think it's called. That's my only 2 horses at this point, and it wouldn't be a bad idea for me to just get all the horses taken care of. Ideally, what I want to do is get the collectibles that I'm really close to being at a static bonus for. So if I have 2 of an item and 2 of a collectible, and I need to get a 3rd one, and to finish that out and get a static buff, that's what I should go for first. Instead of, let's say, something where I don't have any of the set and that I'm getting in and I still gotta wait to get a static buff out of it later on. And, especially the ones that give me percentage health. Right now I get 9% extra health, and I would love a little bit more. More health means more survivability, and especially in areas where I'm not tough enough really to take it on. The health will at least let me not die in there and slowly get the job done. That's another reason why I'm not doing the parallel worlds, is because part of your bonus points for doing it is based on time, and I simply it takes so long to get through because it takes so long to kill everything where I'm at right now. So I'm better off finishing the main quest, getting to 55, and then we'll deal with parallel worlds at a place of strength, because you gotta think, me opening nearly 200 tier 3 chests, I'm going to get some good stuff. I'm going to have a head start on that, which is exactly why I was told to do it. Hold on to them and cash them in when they're going to be appropriate. We are definitely cashing in those little extra chests there for gold. Very good. There's a green, and he goes not quick enough. Another mystic cube, a few green items that we will sell later. And we just found our overlook, so now we just go back to town and talk to that lady, Soraya. And that will be step 107. 9:21, so we've got about 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes for some stuff. That was one suggestion that Juria gave me, is not to keep these videos too long, because then they become too long, don't watch. The sister of Too Long Don't Read. Search for the Cyclops shelter in the Oasis. So now that we have already been there once, we can just go to our little circle of portal here and just go there directly. There we go. Yeah. No need to go through the desert anymore. You just go straight to the Oasis and keep the party on. And we went. Teleportation stone is Jesus. Basically, we ran out of time. Well, let me port you directly in and keep the party going. That was a reference to D.L. Hughley's joke about Jesus being pretty hip. And I won't retell it because that's D.L. Hughley's joke, and he could do it a lot better than I can. So, needless to say, it was really funny. The wine scene in the Bible was what he referenced. And you gotta think, that's really hip, that like the party is dwindling down and the wine's all gone, but everybody still wants to have a good time, and Jesus is just like, I got that. I got you covered. And then, of course, the part that people might forget sometimes is that the wine was commented on that it was better than anything else they drank that night. Like, normally you bring out the bad wine when everybody's had plenty, and but you brought out the best stuff now. So, only the best stuff for my friends, Jesus says. Yep. I don't bring out that cheap stuff. When you drink with me, you get Hennessy. Alright. There we go. And I might even get a comment now, and somebody might comment, do you think Hennessy's the best stuff? Yeah, it probably is. Then it's going to go down a rabbit hole that I'm not prepared for. I mean, and this is for me. I go to Missy B's every Saturday night, and trust me, I have a few drinks. I don't get drunk though. That's never been my thing, but I certainly get buzzed. I'm in a very good mood after I've had a few. If you'd like to know my drinks of choice, just ask me and I'll tell you. I won't do it in the video, but ask me and I'll tell you. I've got a 3 or 4 drink rotation. Basically, one of those 3 or 4 is going to be what I drink in a night, in some combination. Alright, back to the Raptors, who are, and our big Mr. Boney. Oh, trying to hit a drill and it's not working. Or I'm just not doing it right. Okay. Another Mystic Cube, some more blue stuff. I'm going to get hit, but I don't mind. Explode. Explosions of light. What? find where that Cyclops shack is with the help of our handy guide. We're not too far off. Not too far off at all. We'll get this quest done. I think we'll call it a day. As far as recording, I will be on possibly later. I do have to work tonight, so depending on when I get home, maybe determine whether I play a couple hours of Drakensang after I get home or I just go to bed. Please don't be angry if I just go to bed. Alright, here we go, and okay, so yeah, we gotta kill 2 more of these guys, so let's do it. The quest continues. More raptors, more trees, more explosions in life, or death in this case. There we go. 2 of 3. And loot. Like that. Tuxedo. A healing orb we don't need. Oh, and he's all the way over there. I guess this is a good time to see if we can cheat our way to a dive. Not on that one, but maybe. Oh yes. We will not go around. Thank you. We will get our way over to this side immediately. Why the chicken does not cross the road, he dies over it. And there we go. Explosion arrow just hits nothing because I already killed the dude. Classic. I would be playing more serious if I had more serious opponents. You've seen that. Okay. Oh, 2 of them. Okay, yeah, let's get serious. Oh, more. So I interrupted their family picnic. So, oh my God, they invited the relatives. They invited the relatives from out of town. My tree folk did work and now he's gone, so he's really going to get serious now. Come on. Okay, now we'll cash in. I'm trying not to waste that arrow. Because I could have hit adrenaline immediately, but then there was all that concentration that it would have wasted. Because it fills you up completely, so I like to try to do it when it's super low rather than, when it's almost full and I'm just trying to get that shot quicker. Okay, hunting arrow for the finish. Tree folk will finish off the other one. We get a realm frag, which is going to be very good for later, for that event in 3 days. Collect all the stuff. I think before we go to town, we'll go ahead and sell everything, just to have our inventory clean. Things to sell. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Skipping around the inventory. Animal crackers in my soup. Puppies and rabbits. I'm sure I screwed it up. Was it monkeys and rabbits or is it puppies and rabbits? I don't know. It's Shirley Temple Black. Raised a child, halfway decent. Congresswoman, representative for the American Film Institute. She had a very lovely career. Defeat all enemies in the Evergreen Oasis. So literally, this is going to be kill everything like you would in a painful difficulty before you fight Finland. And we leveled up to 51. How appropriate to end the video on a level up. We got a single point we can't spend yet. And not switching anything. So, I was told I need to put my final 5 points in 5 thickets of thorns because cloud of poison. And I'm going to take your word for it. I was also told, okay, so net didn't get its cooldown. I didn't put points in that. Also said putting 5 points in net, possibly 2. But yeah, I'm thinking 5 points thick of the thorns, and we would be perfect as far as our skill setup. Let me know in the comments if that works in PvP, because it'd be interesting to know if there's a whole different way you want your character set up in PvP. Oh, we got one more thing to do, because we got enough abandonment now. Let's do this real quick. Watch this be the thing. Is basically, I keep saying that I'm going to end the video, and I end up finding something else I need to do first. I'm not seeing a place to deal with, oh, well, there it is. We need to actually go to the gem shop for this. I was going to say not a place to melt your items, but no, we need the gem shop. Oh, there he is. Okay, he's right next to the workbench. That's why it's a little hard to see. Okay, but we need the gem place. Because we are going to pop in our item here. Add that gem slot. Bada boom. Alright, so back you go. And now we need to put a gem hood. Our biggest one is that. Okay. I'm not going to. Well, you know what? Keep the video going, right? Keep the party going. So let's combine that gem real quick. I'm not too eager to buy more gems. You know, I could certainly. Not. I don't think that's necessarily what I ought to do. Just. You know what? Let's see, 169. Oh, what is it? Okay, there we go. Yeah, let's get it to the next highest tier, and it. We need crafting table. Crafting table. Come here. Thank you. Okay, combine. Alright. Now we'll put that in the item. It's not a radiant, but it'll do for now. It will do for now. That's still a plus 6 damage. That's okay for right now. Those will get upgraded to all radiant. Well, that one will get upgraded to a radiant soon enough. As you can see, the rest of them in my items are radiant. Perhaps that should be a radiant onyx though, instead of another radiant damage. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you suggest. Certainly, my selection of what gems to have where is also something I'm open to interpretation on. That one I would think would be a little more what the player kind of feels for their character. Then there's a set ratio of stuff. And I just noticed I might have been using my red essences this whole entire time, and if so, it's no wonder I was hitting for something. Yeah, I was, wasn't I? Well, that will certainly explain why I was hitting so much. Yeah. You don't get those very often. I gotta be careful with that. Oh, I am error. Anyway, the what isn't an error is recording this video for the love of Drakensang, the love of all of you on Discord. Please like, subscribe, ding the bell on this episode and the other episodes, and please subscribe so Duria the Brave is not lonely in the subscribers list to this channel. And I will see y'all tomorrow morning. This is the Daily Drakensang. Peace.